Clearing out Pisces energy, okay? Woo! Virgo, 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 Virgo. Wow. It's kind of surprising that your reading is coming at the time that it's coming. Here it is, though. You know, you guys are usually always kind of first, with me at least. I have Mars in Virgo. I have Mercury in Virgo. Okay. And yes! Let me see. Good afternoon. Oh! Well, if it ain't Sun in Virgo. Y'all know both of my sisters are Virgos. I have an aunt that's a Virgo. I have a late uncle that is a Virgo. Shit. And I also have, you know, I mean, there's so many Virgos in my family, I can't even tell you. Right? I really can't. I really cannot count. I might be able to, but I need a pen and paper. Maybe a pencil. You know, Vedically, I'm Virgo. But we know what I mean, you know, I love y'all, but we know what I'm representing. Oh, Lord. What did I do with these cards? Okay, that's it. I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to flip it. Goodness gracious, I'm going with what Spirit's telling me to do now, because sometimes when I lose track of how much I counted the deck shuffling, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't do it. But it's okay. Let me lay them out, and then I'm going to show you what these cards are that fell out. I don't know why I'm like so giddy right now and so happy. What's going on? This is really crazy. King of Cups. Okay, so I knew this card was going to come up for somebody, Virgo. This is Scorpio energy. It's fixed water. It really is understanding your emotions, right? Being mature within your emotion. Being able to handle your emotions. Being able to, you know, feel and apply yourself based on what that feeling is teaching you or showing you. This is the ability to, you know, assert a level of authority over your emotional process, right? Because it is water, but it is also air, right? And this card is actually 1/3 Libra, Virgo. So you might be dealing with Libra or dealing with a relationship with a water sign. Maybe that's making you giddy. Right? Girl. Sorry. Hey, Virgos out there that I know. These are the two cards that flipped out for you. And it's very interesting because they're both sixes. So they're related to your rhythms. They're related to your patterns, thought patterns, things that are realities, codependencies, job, things that are part of your basic everyday rhythm. You know, I was thinking about the devil earlier and I had something in my head about it, but maybe it'll come up to me. So you got the devil, obviously, and then you have the Six of Swords. Let's talk about the Six of Swords. Are we back? Okay, so the Six of Swords, Mercury and Aquarius, it really is talking about from leaving one place and going to another, right? Because the sixes are related to the lovers, and that's talking about reciprocity. So what is being reciprocated here, and what Okay? We're looking at friends, we're friendships. We're also looking at relationships and lovers. Maybe you're moving on from a friendship that might have affected a relationship that you have, or maybe you're moving from one reality and going into the next, right? Aquarius is talking about perspective, and it's a change of perspective and a shift in your perspective, right? Because Mercury is talking about multiplicity and short distance travel. So you could actually physically, you could be traveling, or you could be reading a lot. Some of you are reading a lot about something, right? Gaining knowledge about something. And it could have something to do with your skill or your trade or your craftsmanship or what it is you do for work, right? So if I feel like work or something that you are attaching yourself to, in a need to get something out of it, because the devil definitely gets something out of what he attaches himself to, okay? Or this could be you leaving a situation that you might have attached yourself to that you weren't getting anything out of. You know what I mean? So it could go both ways, right? Because we're dealing with duality, and we're dealing with energy that it shifts and it changes for many different people. Okay, so we're dealing with a lot of people here. Anyway, the double card is number 15, and this is the first stage of spiritual enlightenment, realizing where you are, right? Where you stand, you know, the proof of something. And it's the proof through what you have actually gathered through your own analysis, right? Because the Sixers are talking about analysis, so is the devil, analyzing a situation and seeing where it is that it benefits you. Am I able to build something out of this? As well. The book's really warning you, or may have warned some of you about something, to just sort of like be aware, right? Because the sixth house is talking about how aware we are, because it's ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is makes us acutely aware of what it is that's happening around us, what it is, shifts in rhythms, right? The beat, you know what I mean? And it's kind of, if something feels good, then you know it's right, usually. Okay, and if something doesn't feel good, then something needs to be done about it, right? You need to sort of like allow yourself to get away from people that might be toxic, maybe toxic friends or something like that, you know, because maybe some of you have been controlling your emotions and whatnot, but now you feel like you might even be in a better place, and you might feel more responsible, and you might just be feeling more you know, more in your bossness to make the choices and the decisions that you need to do, so that you are moving closer to your reality, right? You gathered some perspective, you've gathered the information and the knowledge as well. You're realizing that in order for you to get more out of your life, that you're gonna have to understand when time might be up with something, or when time might be up in terms of you know, what you allow to occur, right? Or what you allow to go on. Because the devil is talking about what the codependencies that you allow to occur, what you allow to go on. Also, you might be feeling like it's a situation might be one-sided with the devil. You know, the devil does talk about a situation being one-sided. It might have been one-sided in terms of something. Also, the devil is talking about a job. So some of you might be moving on to a better job, or some of you might have gone on to a better job. And it may have taken some time, but it's almost all luck might have. What am I getting? I'm going to move on, okay? The Chariot, movement forward, okay? This is also talking about gathered knowledge, right? And moving forward with that knowledge, and with that, it's getting dependability too, right? So it's almost like you can depend on yourself, or maybe you might be depending on moving forward confidence. Depends on your confidence. Your success depends on, you know, you feeling good about what it is that you do, right? The Chariot is number 7, so it's related to how you relate. How are you relating to your experience? Are you a victim, right? Or are you doing what you can with what you have? You know what I mean? It's yin and it's yang, so it is talking about achieving a sense of balance within oneself, emotional balance within oneself, that allows you to definitely take on whatever challenge that you feel like you might be faced with. You know what I mean? And it's doing it very confidently. You've evolved to this place, right? You've definitely come around. I feel like full circle. like I said, Libra. So it's weighing things out. It's considering many different variables here, and what you have weighed out is, you know, what you want, what you need, right? It's also talking about emotional security. Okay, it's kind of right. It's also talking about emotional security. Okay, it's kind of like asserting, you know what I mean, coming from a point of feeling stagnant and then feeling that energy move forward in, you know what I mean? And it's really great. It's almost like I can hear the horses running and the wheels turning. So there's a lot of acting. So there's a lot of action, there's a lot of energy. You know, the seventh house is ruled by Libra, and Libra is a very active sign, you know what I mean? There's always something going on. So this is sign, you know what I mean? There's always something going on. So this is saying that you can always create something, you know what I mean, out of nothing, right? Because if you're feeling stagnant and then you're moving forward, it's almost like the energy was just kind of like transferred. So this is a transference of energy as well. You know, the seventh house deals with transferring of energy and teetering and tottering and going from one to the other, one extreme to the other. And it's kind of like staying strong within that, going from one extreme to the other, and still being able to push forward and move forward with a lot of strength and effort. You know what I mean? And this is kind of like how you apply yourself, because the devil is talking about learned application, you know, through time, okay, and experience, because the devil is also talking about a lot of experience, right? That's why the devil is who he is, because he has lots of experience, you know what I mean? Anyway, let me continue. Your challenge or the immediate influence of the King of Pentacles, and this card came up in the future for Pisces, okay? So, in the future, you might actually, or a Pisces future, right, might be affected by a King of Pentacles, which might be you. Or the King of Pentacles in that reading might have been referring back to you, right? Virgo and Pisces. Or it could even be a Cancer or a Scorpio, right? Because I have Scorpio and I have Cancer here, right? Anyway, that's where the last retrograde we had, Mercury retrograde, was in Cancer, and the next one is going to be in Scorpio. And for Virgo risings out there, Scorpio is your third house of communication, right? Anyway, the challenge, the King of Pentacles, which is also 1/3 Aries, and that's talking about the assertion and the authority, and also kind of like, you know, how you do apply yourself to get what you want. And being that this is Taurus, Taurus talks about what I have, and it talks about job security. It also talks about, you know, home life, securing home life, securing finances, money, and jobs. So this could be like a job that you have just gotten that makes you feel like the King of Pentacles, right? Like you're moving forward. It's talking about growth. Wow, you have the King of Pentacles here and you have the King of Cups. So this is Scorpio and Taurus energy. Scorpio rules shared resources, right? And Taurus rules earned income. So this is money, right? You're getting more resources. It's making you feel more emotionally secure. You might even feel more financially secure. You may have even felt like you've moved on from this rough time of like dealing with money, or feeling like you might have been burning the candle that burnt both ends, or waiting to get out of a situation that made you feel tied down or held back from advancing or progressing or getting somewhere. You know what I mean? Some of you might even be dealing with some knee issues, right? Or you might even be dealing with some ankle or some ankle or some knee issues, right? Just because the devil is Capricorn and Capricorn is the goat and the goat is ruling the knees, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and continue. I'm going to look at your past position. Wow. Okay. In the past position, you have the Three of Pentacles, which is basically what Pisces got in their sun position. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about them. This is talking about in the past, a job and work and being able to apply yourself to something in a very meaningful way, right? Because it is out of your concerned effort and out of your skill set and your capacity, because the threes do talk about, you know, capacity, the capacity for something, right? Can you house, can you hold, can you hold it down, can you do it, are you the one? This is kind of like, yes, I am, right? And being that the three is related to Mercury, like I said, it's kind of like your thought process and your work process. You know what I mean? Putting a lot of time and energy and focus into a job that you're doing, right? Trying to do it well, you know what I mean? Really considering the application and the quality of the work as well, right? Maybe someone chose you for the quality of your work, right? You have to remember that as well, right? And that's kind of like a Sag thing too, you know, because it's like remembering, am I remembering the knowledge that I've been taught? You know what I mean? Because if Sag is talking about learning, then, you know, right? And this is Mercury, and Mercury is, you know, the third house is opposing Sagittarius, which is where Jupiter is right now. That's squaring you. Okay? So being that you're Virgo and Sagittarius is a sign that's squaring you, Jupiter being there, that's creating some, it was probably creating some tensions in terms of like security, right? In terms of home life and just how you were able to provide for the home, or just how secure you felt within your own emotional environment. You know what I mean? But now that Jupiter has moved forward, right? In Sagittarius, the house that squares you, which is talking about learning, right? And how you apply yourself based on what you have learned from the third house. It's saying that now you are moving forward. Now you are applying yourself. Now you are getting somewhere. You know what I mean? And that's why the Chariot is here with the King of Pentacles as the immediate influence crossing it. You see what I'm saying? That's great. So let's look at the sun position. Let's go a little further. Wow, another 7. So you're like, okay, I'm seeing something happen here. I'm seeing changes occur, right? This isn't the 2, it's a 7, okay? Here we go. So the 2s, right? The 2s are like Taurus, right? That's security. This is Taurus, right? So all of the 2s have something to do with Venus, and so do the 7s usually, you know what I mean? Or some kind of like kinship to that energy. And being that this is Saturn in Taurus, Saturn likes to move slow, Taurus likes to move slow as well. You know what I mean? But Taurus also does like the writing what it, you know, there's something of value here that you can really understand is going to make things better for you. You know what I mean? Because it really is how you believe yourself to be within an experience, or who you become within an experience, especially one of learning, because it is talking about movement forward, right? Getting from one place to another. It's conflict with an advantage, and the conflict is just saying that, you know, you might have to learn more within how you're relating to this. You might be a little bit emotionally affected by the things that you don't see happening as quickly as you would like them to, or see the developments happen the way you would like to see them, you know. So this could be your development, or this could be the development of a process, you know. So this process might be developing slowly because you're being seasoned, and you're being you know, basically calibrated to be responsible enough for when this thing does come into its full manifestation, or when it kicks into full gear, or when it has reached this point of now learned something. You now have something that has reached a stage of us acknowledging that you deserve whatever title, you deserve you know, whatever status this is bringing you, because Taurus is talking about status, and Saturn is talking about, you know, the consumption of things, and also power through growth processes, and power that comes from how you apply yourself, right? Saturn is actually exalted in Libra, which is a fellow Venetian ruled sign. You know what I mean? So you're doing what it takes, right? If then you will do that in order to gain this experience of pleasure or pleasing someone else. So this could be you trying to do a job well for the, you know, for the acknowledgement from some upper supervision or something like that. A boss, you know, Saturn. Anyway, let's look at your moon position. I'm sorry. The moon position is the Page of Swords, okay? So this is air and earth. And this is talking about learning, right? And applying yourself so that you can get to this, you know, this feeling of of tenureship. It's like the idea of that. Like, okay, this is also your intelligence and your wit, you know, your charm, your grace. Um, it's you attaching yourself to some learning process, or maybe in school or maybe a school. This has to do with young people as well. These could be students, these could be children. This could also just kind of be like you within this process of this new phase, right? It's very potent energy. It's kind of like an ace, right? So this is a new perspective. This is a new self-truth, right? And you're stepping into it with a lot of optimism and enthusiasm. Or these could just be new vehicle that's going to get you from one place to another, in terms of like your ideas being put on paper or your ideas being turned into something real. Intimidated with ruled by the Wheel of Fortune, which is talking about opportunity, luck, advancement, right? Sudden advancement too. Hi. And that's Sagittarius, right? That's where Jupiter is right now. And being that this is a Pisces card, it's Mars in Pisces, okay? Where is Mars right now? Mars is actually in Libra, isn't it? Mars is in Libra. So you guys might be dealing with the Libra Virgo, or you might just be dealing with a relationship, right? So you might just be feeling overwhelmed, okay? You know, you might be feeling overwhelmed by a feeling, or this is a level of growth within a feeling. You know what I mean? Maybe something has expanded, a feeling has you know, a feeling has grown into something larger than it was before, right? And the 10 of Cups is almost like an ace as well, because when you add the 1 and the 0, you come back to the 1. So this is talking about powerful, you know, powerful feelings and acting on those powerful feelings, right? You know, Mars is talking about force, energy, passion, right? Determination. Okay, so you could be determined to experience some, you know, level of enjoyment out of something, or maybe someone is determined with you. But this 10 does talk about a phase ending in order for another one to begin, and it does talk about time, and it does talk about karma as well with the 10s, because the 10s are related to the Capricorn, which is the 10th house, right? And that is karma. That is Saturn's domain. You know what I mean? And Saturn talks about attachments that we have to things that are meant to teach us, right? And the 10s are ruled by Jupiter, which is Sagittarius, which is learning, right? So what have you learned? What have you gained, right? Don't have anxiety about that, no. Hopes and fears as well. So it's anxieties, hopes, and fears. And your hope is that, you know, you're going to get to this point where things are going to be fully what you had always hoped that they would be. And because there are certain things that we want, right, that we need to feel like we are not willing to sacrifice, right? What you are and what you are not willing to sacrifice. Yes. You know, focused on what it is that you feel that remembering what it is that you are getting out of an experience that might feel, you know, like it's been ongoing, or maybe like I don't know. I'm gonna move on because I don't want to exhaust the card. Now let's look at your Mars position. In your Mars position, you have the 8 of Wands. So this is, you know, a lot of messages, a lot of things coming in fast, travel, you know, busy, running around a lot. I feel like some of you guys are running around a lot. You might be driving a lot, you know what I mean? Some of you guys might even be like taking a trip or something like that, you know what I mean? Going from one place to another, maybe getting on a plane. But this is also talking about power, right? And the acknowledgement of power through being able to acknowledge an opportunity, realize an opportunity when it's staring at you in the face. You know what I mean? And this is related to the Strength card, which talks about skill, prowess, a way of doing things, not forcing something. This is kind of like letting something come to you instead of you trying to control the situation and obsessing over what that thing is, whatever. This is kind of like letting things come to you, being aware of the opportunities when they show themselves to you, taking advantage of the opportunity when it comes to you, because the eights are related to the eighth house, and that is governed by Scorpio, which is talking about shared resources, you know what I mean? And it's talking about being opportunistic to get what you want, right? Because the eighth house is a house of desire. So there could be many things here that you are desiring, or there might be like you might be overwhelmed by getting more than you bargained or more than you asked for, right? It's a good thing, but now you have to sort of like where am I going? I'm not going anywhere. Oh, I'm going far, very far, darling. Vegas. Okay. So the eight here, yeah, that's definitely talking about shared resources. It's definitely talking about gambling because it's talking about taking a risk, right? And Sin City, right? Wow. Who did I say was going to Vegas? Gemini. Are you going to Vegas with a Gemini? This is Mercury in Sagittarius. Okay? This could also be like you guys are learning a lot. You know what I mean? It could even be with school, right? Some of you guys might be learning a lot. Um, some of you guys might be trying to learn some information very quickly or pick up on something very quickly. It could even be a language. Some of you might be actively learning a language very quickly, um, or you could just be trying to like get as much out of learning a language that you can. Wow. Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. I love it. Talk amongst each other. That's great. Um, yeah. There's a sense of pride here with this Eight of Wands. You know. I'm gonna continue. Ooh, in your Venus position, you got the Queen of Swords, which is Libra, but it also could be Virgo because it's 1/3 of the sign that comes before it, right? Queen of Swords is balanced in her mind, balanced, patient. She is gathering information so that she can have a full perspective. She's asking questions. She's being very openly communicative, right? So this might be you, or this could be someone else, right? The Queen of Swords is definitely someone who likes to learn from other people, but she likes to learn by relating with other people, talking, asking questions, right? Somebody that you might be in a relationship with might be asking you a lot of questions, you know what I mean? Or you could be asking a lot of questions. You also have, it's almost kind of like you yourself have a responsibility in a relationship to be clear on what it is that you want, what it is. Um, and this is also you focusing on your career. You know what I mean? Because Venus does talk about pleasure, right? Libra working and doing things that make you feel like you're achieving something. You know what I mean? You don't need anybody else to kind of support you in that way of knowing what it is that you want to do. You know what I mean? No one's determining for you what it is that you should be doing. You're doing that for yourself, and you're standing in that pride. You know what I mean? Um, it's a dignified card too. It's cardinal, so it's talking about initiating and changes happening and being focused and ready within those changes. You know, being an authority as well, being a leader. And it's kind of like face value, right? You're taking something at face value, right? Okay, let me go ahead and flip over the next cards. These are going to be your future cards, Virgo, okay? Outcome, energy moving forward, the future card, and then we have the ascendant card up here at the top of the reading. Wow, the Magician. This is Mercury. This is focus. This is the acknowledgement of something, knowing where you stand, right? Knowing who you are and what you can do with what you have, right? because the Magician, it's Mercury, and then it's also related to the first house of Aries. Mercury is the esoteric ruler of Aries, and you have to be conscious of yourself and who you are to know what you're going to do next. So this is kind of like you believing in yourself, right? And you also acknowledging the power that you hold. I should leave and I saw looking for a Scorpio read. Oh yeah, I haven't done a Scorpio reading yet. The Sag reading is up. So the Magician, right? Mercury, that's dealing with, multiplicities. It's as above, so below, right? So be careful of what you say. Be careful of what you think. You guys, if you want to manifest something, you have to already believe you are that thing. It's kind of like Ashe, and so it is, right? You are a powerful being, and you can do whatever it is that you want to do. The Magician is definitely understanding what your capabilities are. You know what I mean? Right? Not lying to yourself about what your capabilities are, and also not shortchanging yourself on what they are, because you are unlimited, right? This is talking about understanding how unlimited you are. You don't have to be unlimited in the same way that someone else is, but it's kind of like being limitless, right? Because it's infinite. Limitations and infinity are different things, right? So this is kind of like the acknowledgement of how infinite you are, right? And guided, infinitely guided, right? You're being guided. It's also inspiration, right? So what inspires you? I feel like you have fresh inspiration. This is fresh inspiration, right? And perspective. So a change in perspective gives us inspiration. It inspires us, right? To see things differently, right? To be able to value something new. Don't we always? Now let's look at your future card. Ooh, the Nine of Wands. This is the moon in Sagittarius, okay? Interesting. The president has a Sagittarius moon. Anyway, Virgo, this is related to you. This is related to the Hermit. So you are kind of like stepping back from something. You might even be kind of like isolating yourself in a little bit, right? Emotionally, right? For your own emotional gain, or not gain, but it's like for your own emotional protection, you might be isolating yourself because you need to go through an evolution, right? You're undergoing an evolutionary process right here. You're changing. And this is realizing what it is that you are discovering about yourself, because this ninth house is talking about learning. Sagittarius is talking about learning, and it's talking about focus and drive, right? The moon in Sagittarius is definitely determined. You know what I mean? It's very jovial and it's happy. You're feeling good about this, exuberant, you know? Jovial even, right? The Hermit is gaining wisdom within itself. It's talking about how connected you are to your subconscious, right? And this is you allowing yourself to do whatever it is that you need to do so that you can gather your information, gather your wits about you, gather your knowledge, and not be affected by others. Because the nine doesn't want to be affected. It doesn't want to be stopped from going to you, and it was maybe getting you into a place of feeling, like you needed to get away, or like you needed to focus, right? So that you can drive yourself forward or move forward. This is definitely movement forward, right? It's coming from a place and going somewhere else, seeing two sides of a situation too. You know what I mean? Because this is kind of like, you probably know that you need your distance from somebody, or somebody needs their distance from you too. I've definitely felt like, oh, I need some space from you, and you need space from me too. You know what I mean? And that's what this codependency is, because if you take a 6 and you turn it upside down, then you got a 9, right? And this is talking, look, this card just went and laid down on the Ascendant card, and I'm going to flip it over. But this is talking about getting space too, right? I need space from some friends. I need space from a lover, right? Or this could be you going on a trip with a lover or going somewhere, right? What position? Oh, this was an extra card. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this ascendant card at the top of the reading. I'm so glad I did you guys' reading today. Sometimes it gets confusing with these mutable signs because y'all sometimes you guys have a lot of messages in your readings. I'm just saying. Mutable as fuck, right? Yes, Virgo. Okay. The Hierophant, belief systems, status, marriages, connections to people that are like-minded, right? Because it also is talking about religion, okay? Just belief systems, but this is talking about religion too. You know what I mean? Some of you could be just going inward and having some spiritual epiphanies, right? And then it's making you realize that everything that you probably thought was before isn't the same now. And that's what the fives talk about. It's like, well, controlled environments, yes, but a controlled environment, many things happen with that environment that we cannot control, right? And we have to see to it that we are, asserting ourselves or applying ourselves, because this talks about the application too of what it is that you believe, right? So it's kind of like I have my belief systems, right? But then it's kind of like I apply myself to my life based on my belief systems, right? I relate to my life based on my belief systems and where I come from to a degree, because I was born to a teenage mother in the projects in Mississippi, okay? But I don't see myself being that person for that's just who I was for like a fraction of my life. Honey, what? I studied at the Juilliard School. You know what I'm saying? So really, you don't have to just be who you were, where you came from. You know what I mean? That's why this card is so special, because it's saying that you can be more than you thought that you were supposed to be, or more than people told you were supposed to be, or more than, where you were placed just based on where you came from. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean anything, you know? The Hierophant is definitely giving you a rags to riches type of situation. You know what I mean? Because it's saying what you see is not all there is. You know what I mean? That's why people can change their life. That's why people can leave controlled environments from other countries, flee, go to a place, right, based on their ability to do, and not go certain places. So I'm going to make a change, a radical change, right? Because Uranus is exalted in Scorpio, but it's in its fall in Taurus, because sometimes you do have to release, sacrifice, change something, shake things up, to get what it is that you want, or to have what it is that you want to have. So this is saying, what you also, the Hierophant talks about what you have and how you share those things that you have, because having something and not being able to do anything with it, right, other people not being affected by those wonderful things that you have, that's kind of like a travesty, right? That would be a tragedy. So it talks about being able to share guidance, being able to share, what you've learned, your beliefs, mentor other people, build people up, lift other people up. So the Hierophant really is talking about uplifting other people from you feeling uplifted, right? Hello. And understanding that, you aren't just a product of where you come from. You know what I mean? You're not just you're a representation. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like you represent the people that come from the place that you come from, right? And then you move forward and you sort of elevate that, right? It's like unlocking things. It's very, it's interesting. It's karmic. When you double up this 5 right here, you get a 10. And then that's related to the 10th house, which is Capricorn, which is earth energy that trines Taurus. To Taurus as well, because it's talking about evolution, right? So when you come from a place, it's like me. Yeah, I was born in the project to a teenage mom, but I evolved into a person that, I've danced on stage at the Met. I've gone to other countries. It's just whatever. I'm not really here to talk about me, but you don't have to settle for anything, right? Do you think that if we all just kept believing what, I don't even know if cavemen believed in anything, and if we were just like, we're fine with that, we'd still be stuck. You know what I mean? You have to advance, you have to develop, you have to evolve, you have to change, you know? And that's what you're understanding. You're like, I don't have to just be friends with the same people that I've always been friends with. I can make new friends. Wow. I don't have to do the same jobs or have the same career that I've had for the past 15 years. If you want to change your career and you have a reason to, a good one, right? Then do it. You know, or if you want to commit yourself to something that is going to bring about a level of security to your life, then do that. That's going to make you feel more secure. It's going to make you feel like you've grown, and then you'll be able to provide what you need to provide for others because you will have been provided for yourself. What am I talking about? Damn, Virgo. I always feel like I want to do more for you guys, but like I feel like this was a pretty full message. You know, going, doing the damn thing, working on yourself, doing the effort to bring multiplicity to who you were and where you came from. Ancestral karma, right? Because the Hierophant is where you come from, your belief systems, and that affords you some level of karma in your life. Double up that 5. It's a 10. That's related to Capricorn. And the Capricorn card that you have here is the 3 of Pentacles. And when we go think about the card that rules the threes, it's the Empress, and that's Venus, and that's Libra, and it is also Taurus. And if you are really going there, Pisces. Okay, really. But yes, y'all, you better do it. You know, you're evolving. Time is seasoning you. It's giving you more layers, right? Because as we get older, we have different experiences that teach us different things. So we're able to add things to that being that we are, right? And then it just kind of like makes us, it's like metals being added to a jacket. You know what I mean? What do you call that? Yeah. That is definitely this too. I mean, you know, like because when we think like you know, metals and things like that, you get that out of, you know, acts of responsibility and you know, authority and assertion and taking risks. And usually when people are given medals or given some sort of acknowledgement like a prize, a Pulitzer Prize or anything like that, you know, a Peabody, it's because they took a risk, right? And now they've been acknowledged for the risk that they took, right? And giving something back and providing something, right? All of those earth signs, honey, when you think about those earth signs, Capricorn is probably the would be the, I don't know, I would say that Capricorn is probably the greediest, and like Taurus is the most stable of the earth signs, and then Virgo would be the one that is like you know, Virgo allows you to see things differently within a reality, many different realities within one reality, and that's like Mercury talking there. You know what I mean? Um, but for sure, you know, that Capricorn energy in its high polarity, it's not just greedy. It actually is building better, you know, economies. It's execution. It's the people that are in charge also giving back to those that work underneath them. You know what I mean? It's like that type of, that's a very high polarity governing, you know, iron fist velvet glove, you know, that type of thing. That's that higher polarity of earth energy from Capricorn, which trines you. You know what I mean? So the earth signs are very important, rhythm and balance, and they're kind of connected to the moon because the moon is exalted in Taurus, but the moon esoterically rules Virgo. And you can see where the parallels are, because if you look at the moon card, it's number 18 and it's a 9 when you reduce that, and it goes back to the hermit, which is you. Okay? And the moon rules the sign that opposes the other earth sign, Capricorn. We're talking about Taurus. Or sorry, we're talking about Cancer. Okay? So all of the earth signs have some kind of relationship with the moon, right? Rhythm, balance, necessity. Analysis of the work, the analysis of the time spent working on something of beauty, because it's related to the Empress, right? The threes are talking about youthful energy. Some of you guys have been putting a lot of time in something, right? A skill set. And you're building a better life for yourself too. That's what the Hierophant talks about too, building a better life. But you don't just exist. You're just not like plopped down in your your life and your existence like it's silver spoon, and you're like, damn, this is right. I don't gotta do nothing. No, that's not what life is about. Life is talking about going through things and realizing that there is more to your life than just what you have been told. Because there are some things that you have to figure out for yourself and that people won't tell you. You know what I mean? Right? Because Taurus could get into that space, right? Because I'm saying that because it's here. And it's talking about, out of sight, out of mind. Well, it's fine. I'm not going to question it. No, you should question things, because people will only tell you what they want you to believe. Right? What do you believe? Virgo. I'm living. I'm living proof. You'll live in proof. We live in proof. Right? The devil, that's proof. Capricorn, that's proof. That energy, right? Because it's talking about things that you have to attach yourself to all the time, right? It's kind of like work. The proof of your work, you know? And the devil card does talk about being enticed daily. Things getting in and influencing you or trying to influence you daily. It's that other side. It's the negative polarity, right? Because it is talking about earth, and the earth and the water. Those are negative polarities. Those are yin, and air and fire are yang. Those are more positive, And then they say masculine, female, but I don't even really go there, because the sixes are talking about nothing. The sixes are not masculine or feminine, right? Really. Now we're getting a little bit differentiate, right? Because the sixth house does talk about your behavior, right? Okay. And the devil card is talking about, bad behavior. Sometimes. And being and needing to free yourself, or being able to acknowledge things that don't serve you and aren't really a part of your everyday rhythm. It's not a part of your healthy habitual life, and those things have to go, right? But Virgo knows how to. Virgo can do that. You can cut somebody off. They'll still be there. Because you are esoterically ruled by the moon, and Mercury is just making connections. So sometimes there was that place of being like, you know what, this is what was happening really with that, and da 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 da, whatnot, whatever. I'm just talking to you guys because I like talking to you. But I think that we're good. You got a lot of things that are talking about the mind here, mind over matter, right? It's a new perspective on who you are too, which is great, and it's making you feel very like alive. Some of you, most. All right, and with the song fading out now, I'm going to go. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll be reading at Shanti Bookshop in Crystal Gallery tomorrow from 12 to 5. The address is 213th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues here in New York City, near Union Square, East Village area, around the NYU, compound they got. NYU takes over downtown New York City. Follow me on Instagram, Providence Tarot. I am NYC Kendrick, and I am Kendrick NYC. And when I say I am, that is not a part of my name. I just say I am because, I am. If you like food, the Tongue Pop, that's my food page. Also, follow Shanti Shanti, right? I think it's AUM underscore Shanti underscore Shanti. That's the shop that I work at and I read at, and we have a lot of amazing readers there, and we have a lot of amazing pieces, and stones and crystals and incense, large array of things. I don't know what else do I want to say. Believe in yourself, Virgo.